What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to NoLifeTilMetal. Gonna do a NoLifeTilMetal graphics update. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a graphics update today. Some of the albums that I've worked on for some of the labels I work with that are coming out soon. These are 4 of these are test pressings, and one of them is actually out and available now. So why don't I go ahead and show you one that's out and available now. This is actually, all these are on Retroactive Records, which is, you know, usually I have different labels, but all these are coming out on Retroactive Records. But this is finally out. I did show the test pressing for this not too long ago. This is the vinyl reissue of Bride Tsarbama, and I believe the first, I don't know, there's only 200 copies, I think. It was 250, 150, I don't know. Not a whole lot. And I believe the first bunch of them are signed by both Dale Thompson and brother Troy Thompson, who of course are the main players in Bride. This is one of those from the Vault series records that kind of has the wraparound covers. Once again, I put it in a regular sleeve. And I believe pre-orders came with a sticker, which I do have right there. It's too late, obviously, to pre-order it because it's already out. But they are still available. There are still some available. And you can get retroactive stuff from boomsoverstock.com. And yeah, it's a very good album from them. The CD actually has more songs. There's like these kind of like instrumental, I don't know, little short instrumental songs between each of the tracks. And those were left off the vinyl. And I think this is actually very concise, very good, very solid, heavy rock album. So if you know me, I know I'm a Bride fan. I have been critical of a lot of their stuff over the years. If you ever gone to my NoLifeTilMetal website and read the reviews, you know that I think their early stuff is their best stuff. But I really enjoy this one, and you can read a full review of this album on my site if you're interested in what I think of it. But along with that, this is a test pressing for the brand new Bride. It was just recorded. This is Snake Eyes, and I did not do the graphics for this one, at least not for the cover art. What I basically did was on this one was I did some posters and some of the other pre-order stuff that you can get for it. And so I didn't actually design and do the layout for the booklet or the vinyl or the CD. That was the only thing I did, but I thought I'd show anyhow because it's Bride. They're awesome. I like Bride. And I did get a test pressing of this, and I did listen to and approve the test pressing before it was okayed at the factory. So that's one of the things I do for Retroactive Records. They always send me the test pressing to check out because they want to have more than one set of years on it. This is actually the sheet that'll be inserted into the album. And actually, I did print these, so that was another thing I did for this one. This is the collage of photos of the bands alive over the years, and the lyrics on this side. And yeah, this is the sticker that comes with some of the pre-orders. They also, I think, have posters, and I don't know what else they have for pre-orders, but can't show the vinyl this one because it's playing in the background. So what you're hearing, if you can hear it in the background, is the new Bride album. I'm gonna go ahead and put a clip of a couple songs on here as well if I have time. So let me say, here's a clip of the new Bride.
Jesus is knocking on the door of your heart today.
Burn your propaganda.
So there you go, that's The New Bride, and like I said, I really enjoy that one. I think it's their best, probably since Snakes in the Playground. With the album being called Snake Eyes, I kind of think they were purposely going for that sound, which is something their fans have been asking for a long time. So if you're a fan of Bride and you love that Snakes album and you always wish they would have done Snakes Part 2, this is probably as close as you're ever going to get to it. So there you go. Next up is 2 albums by the same artist, sort of. So this is the... what this has got on it? Dust, I guess. There you go. This is the vinyl release of River Disturbance from Deliverance. This is the first time this has ever been released on vinyl. It had never been released on vinyl before. Originally released on... I can't remember what label it was released on. It was one of the non-intense records from their early years. This album is actually one of my all-time favorite albums from Deliverance. Okay, I am a Deliverance fanatic. I have been since I bought their first album back in 1989, and I followed them through their career. I loved their early speed and thrash metal years, but I liked the progression they went into. You know, they always kind of stayed metal, and what you're going to get here is a more melodic, straightforward, heavy metal thing, very progressive, almost like, I want to kind of say like Queensryche, but you know, if I say Queensryche, you're going to think of some kind of clone of Queensryche, and that's not the case at all. This sounds like Deliverance. A song like Belltown is crushingly heavy. You know, it's got that heavy Mesa Boogie crunch going on here, but it's not thrash.
By day I hear the screams of a compromising scene as the wailing wall in the doorways back through time. What kind of idea has been planted in the mind? We're stealing babies and killing your folks on your spots on prime time. There we go! One more time. There we go. And I ask, is this right to anyone who will hear? Is it something I missed or was not so? The light was on in the Belltown. The needle finds its way into Daddy's arms to stay.
The title track, fantastic. There's just not a song on here I don't like. And if you pre-order, you get one of these, which is pretty cool. This is the backstage, all-access backstage pass from tour 1994-95, all-access backstage pass. Basically a replica of what would have been a pass from back in the day, and you can see it's on Retroactive Records and NoLifeTilMetal graphics. And I did all the graphics for this, including revamping the front cover, the original front cover. Only thing I really changed, other than bringing the graphics out a little bit, was I put the original logo back on there. Never liked the logo that was on there. The rest of the album is completely different from anything you've seen before, so might as well show you the insert while I'm at it. So this is the collage. The Jimmy Brown, who is, of course, the main player here, the guitar player, told me he wanted to kind of get away from the suit look that they had back then, which you can kind of see in that one picture in the center. So when you see the back cover to this, which I don't have yet, obviously, you're going to see a completely different lineup than was pictured on the CD, and they look different. They're not all dressed in suits. And the reason for that is the players that were pictured on the album were not necessarily the players that played on the album. They probably were some of the players that toured for the album, but drummer John Maddox wasn't listed or shown because of contractual obligations to somebody, but he did play drums on the album, so he's pictured on the album. So you'll see when it comes out. The back cover came out should come out really nice. It looks really nice now, as long as they print it well. And yeah, it's got a nice insert, and like I said, early releases get backstage passes, and I think the CDs are coming with if you get a CD package, it actually comes with a guitar pick, a Jimmy Brown guitar pick, and I think they also have t-shirts for that one. So, and along with this, an album that is seriously could have been and should have been the follow-up to River Disturbance. Same lineup that was on River Disturbance plays on this album. This is Jimmy Brown's Eraserhead, and this album is fantastic. This is one of the albums of 1993 for me. 1993. of, man, I'm really old, right? This is one of the albums of 2018 for me. Just great progressive metal. Literally could have been the follow-up to Disturbance. It kind of has that same feel. It still has that heaviness, you know, that heavy guitar tones, the great bass playing, the soulful vocals, everything you want to hear from that album, and almost like this one continues into it. There is some, you know, I don't want to say progression, it's experimentation in the sound, but you had experimentation on here as well. I mean, they did a song with 12th Tribe on here, so you're going to get a little bit of experimentation here too, but it just works so well. I'm really, really impressed with this album. Honestly, this is the second release for Deliverance in 1 year, because you had the Deliverance album that came out, in beginning of the year on Rocks Records. Well, this is Eraserhead on Retroactive Records. This is available for pre-order now, as is this. Both of them available at boomsoverstock.com. Sorry to sound like a commercial, but that's where they're available. Again, I can show you the insert. I think if you pre-order, you get one of these 8x10 glossy photos that are in here. But I believe they're going to be signed by at least Jimmy Brown, if not others. So there you got John Maddox and Manny Morales on bass, same bass player that played on River Disturbance and Learn. 1990 was one of the songs that just from Deliverance was on Learn. That it kind of has that same feel you're going to get on Eraserhead. I just got to have him play a clip. I mean, you got to hear this.
I've said those words that fall on deaf ears, under weight so crushing. Illuminate in the dark world, healing light searches to find. Contaminate to another world, only haunting free space of my mind. Reflecting pool, it shows me a sign, a face streaked with worry and pain. Within each passing moment, history is writ, condemned to repeat once again. I dedicate myself to rise high above these morbid states of fear.
So there you go, that's a short clip of Eraserhead, and see what you think. If you're interested in it, like I said, go ahead and pick it up. There's the pre-order incentive for the vinyl. I think the pre-order incentive for the CD is a sticker. Matter of fact, I have one or two of them right here. And I did do the layout and printing on these. And then here is the insert, which I also did the printing on and the layout for. Now the photo on the front, this graphic that is, you know, obviously not a photo but more of a rendering or a drawing, was done by Robert Steele, who also did the album cover art. He also did the album cover art to the other Deliverance album that came out at the beginning of the year. There it is. I knew I had it right. So this is the same artist that did that one, did this one. So like I said, 2 Deliverance albums in 1 year, plus a Deliverance reissue of River Disturbance. If you're a Deliverance fanatic like I am, it's a great year. Also a vinyl fanatic, so Last one I'm going to show for this edition of NoLifeTilMetal Graphics is this is the 4th installment in the Retroactive From the Vault series. This album is Mad at the World from 1992, I think it is. And if you like that kind of raw AC/DC-ish heavy metal hard rock, that's what you're going to get with this particular Mad at the World album. I actually sent a copy of this to Greg the Egg, who is a friend of mine on YouTube, and to see what he thought of it. I haven't heard yet, but it does have a little bit of an alternative edge, which is not, you know, unlikely or common for the 90s. But if you like the band Rose, Randy Rose, or Danzig, you kind of get a touch of that going on in here as well. AC/DC meets Danzig with a slight alternative feel. It's just good heavy rock and roll. So this is also a test pressing from the same label. This is actually rejected test pressing. I haven't, it had issues that I heard, and I sent the copy that went to Retroactive Records, also heard issues with it, and we're waiting for the new test pressings to come in the mail. So as of right now, this one's still in the test pressing phase, isn't even available yet on Boone's Overstock, due to the fact that we're waiting for an approved test pressing before it goes on sale. So there you go, short but sweet update. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment below, let me know what you think, and yes, please, I mean, I know I'm asking and begging here, but yeah, please do, you know, buy things from these labels that they do, because frankly, the more they sell, the more work I get, and that's what I do for a living, so at least that's what I want to be doing for a living, you know, full-time in the future. So and I think they do release quality products, really. I mean, I honestly love the music they're putting out. You know me, if I didn't like it, I would have said I didn't like it. So nice part about labels like Rocks and Retroactive is they honestly do ask my opinion on music and what I think about putting albums out, and I have let them know about things that, you know, I'm not really into that, and funny enough, none of those have come out yet, so, so I'm glad they take my, you know, opinion seriously. So and I'm definitely glad to be working with them. Anyhow, I'll stop rambling. Thanks for watching. God bless and stay strong.